I don't think I've ever freaked out like I freaked out when my water broke. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a story time in like a while, so I figured why not tell you guys about my birth with my two kids. I mean, you guys see them all over my channel. You know, I have an 8-year-old who turns 9 in October, and I have a 1-year-old who turns 2 in December. By the way, I'm drinking a mimosa. The day that my kids were born, like, I'm never gonna forget it. Like, that's just something a mother never forgets. I mean, I hope a mother never forgets the day their kid was born. If they do, that's kind of sad. But I'm never gonna forget the day my kids were born. So we can actually start with my 8-year-old Anila. I am 28. I'm 28, and I gave birth to Anila when I was 19. You guys, I was 19. I was very uneducated when it came to going through a pregnancy, and I was young when I had Anila. So when it came to being pregnant my first time with Anila, it was actually a breeze. It was actually a breeze. It was very simple. I didn't have any complications. I didn't know what to expect being pregnant because I had never been pregnant before. I just did what the doctors told me to do, went to my appointments, and it was what it was. This is going to be very quick and to the point. I live with my child's father. We have our own apartment, doing the thing, going to work, handling our business, doing what we gotta do. And after work, I would typically go to my mother's house. I had a hair appointment the next day. So I'm coming to her house because I'm like, let me just take my hair down over here because I gotta stop over there. Anyway, I'm 35 weeks pregnant with Anila. I'm going to my mom's house after work, and I need to take my hair down because I have a hair appointment the next day to get my hair done because I know I have to give birth soon and didn't want to be in the hospital looking crazy. I had a sew-in, y'all. I had a sew-in in my head, and my mom was like, oh, I'll be right back. I gotta go somewhere real quick. And I'm at her house by myself. I'm like, all right, cool. She leaves. I get my scissors and I start cutting. I start cutting the tracks out my head. Well, as I'm cutting my tracks out of my head, I feel something trickling down my leg. And I'm like, oh, the devil is a lie. I peed on myself. Pull my pants down, sit on the toilet. And y'all, this don't feel like pee. It did not feel like pee. It didn't even look like pee. I think my water broke. Y'all, I think my water broke, and I was freaking out. So I stand up and I get some tissue and I wrap it up because I'm like, I ain't got no pad to stop it from leaking. I don't have anything. Throughout my entire pregnancy, I've had people tell me, oh, it's not like the movies. Your water breaking it's not like the movies. This isn't gonna happen, or it's not like this, or it's gonna be like that. And y'all, I feel like people were just telling me things based off of their own experience because they were absolutely wrong. So the tissue that I stuck in my underwear did not work because it was soaked. So no one told me, or I didn't educate myself, I guess, on when your water breaks, it does not stop. That little bit of tissue up in them panties wasn't doing nothing, squat. So I'm trying to call my boyfriend to tell him that my water broke, and he's not answering. So I call my mother, who is also not there at the house with me, and she's like, okay, I'll be right there. By that time, my boyfriend did answer. Luckily, we only lived about 5 minutes away from my mom's house. While I'm waiting for him to come, I'm still freaking out because water is still dripping down my legs. I get a towel to put down in the front seat because I didn't want to mess the seats up. I had my hospital bag already in the car, and we went to the hospital. We get to the hospital, and that's when the contraction started while we were in the waiting room. We had to wait, we had to wait to be checked in. And if you ain't never felt a contraction before, you probably do not want to. But y'all, these contractions started, and they were really kind of close. The contractions, they was coming. So I was screaming. Cause what the is this? They put us in the little room with the curtain closed door and was like, oh yeah, you can't be screaming like this. And that's what she told me. I remember this. She said, you can't be screaming like this. How you gonna tell me how I can scream because of the contractions in my body that I'm feeling? So we got a different nurse after that. They hooked me up, and I don't remember what it is they gave me. Whatever was in the IV like made me not feel the contractions for a little bit. So while I was having contractions, I didn't feel it. But that medicine, whatever it was, it wore off so quickly that by the time they were able to get us to the room, it was already coming back full force. We eventually went to a room and got set up, put the gown on. They put the baby stuff up for me to deliver, told me I was about 5 centimeters, and asked me if I wanted an epidural, which of course I want this epidural. I've been waiting for this epidural. I just knew I wasn't about to feel contractions, but I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this in order to not feel these contractions. And when they bought this epidural needle out, it was over. I felt like my life went downhill from there. They come in with the epidural, give me the epidural. At this point, I am crying and I can't get myself under control because it hurts, like it hurts. And I did understand that giving birth was not going to be an easy task. I knew that there were going to be some challenges, but I didn't know it was going to feel like that. Just feel relieved as soon as it kicks in, and you got that little button, you can press it whenever you want to and let the medicine release, and it's just great. They eventually came in and told me it would be time to start pushing, and in my head I'm like, how am I supposed to push if I don't feel anything? That was my question, but they told me I was gonna do it, so I was gonna do it. And it was very traumatizing to the point to where I said, can you guys tie my tubes? And they looked at me and said no. So I pushed out a healthy 5-pound, 5-ounce baby. Yeah, she was 5 pounds, 5 ounces, and I will actually go ahead and insert some pictures on one of these sides. It's kind of funny because my child's father actually was able to get a hospital bed to himself and like scooted up against like where I was, and he was sitting in the hospital bed like he just gave birth, like he just went through this struggle, like he was hurting. I didn't have to get stitches or anything like that, but my hair was wrapped in a scarf because if you guys remember, I told you I was taking my hair down because my hair appointment was the next day. So I showed up to the hospital in a scarf. So half of my head was down and the other half was not. I never got to get my hair done. It was just very sad, you guys. And I dripped the whole way to the hospital. I'm dripping, drip, 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 dripping. So after that, I was like, F this. I am not having any more kids. Don't want any more kids. Don't plan on it ever again. Like I told you guys in like other videos, Anila's 8, about to be 9, and Swayze's 1. So you guys see that age gap. I mean, I'm currently 28. Yeah, I'm 28. So my kids have a huge age gap in between them because I literally took a vow to myself that I don't care what kind of birth control I have to get on. Pill obviously wasn't the most efficient for me. So we're going to step it up and we're going to go to Depo. So I got on the Depo shot and I was on it for I feel like what's all my life. And I didn't have any side effects for Depo. I think the only side effect I had with the Depo shot was it made me kind of crazy. Like I think I would have mood swings because of that Depo shot. But I got on Depo as soon as I gave birth to Anila. And I was on it for like years and years and years to the point to where my OBGYN was like, listen, you can't keep doing this. You need to take a break. You need to give your body a break. You need to take a break from birth control. The Depo shot went bye-bye. And my life is going great, you guys, until I ordered a pizza. And the pizza was nasty.